Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our Wednesday weather update. And we're taking a look at the forecast right through until Tuesday next week, because we really do have quite a lot going on. Low pressure zones, they are surrounding New Zealand. But before lows like this one and this one and this one can actually produce rain or widespread rain around the country, you've got this very powerful high to deal with. So the high is moving through at the moment. It's actually sending up a much cooler southerly. In some places it will be more of an easterly, but a number of places today, Wednesday, will be cooler than average along the eastern side of New Zealand, and many places tonight and going into Thursday morning in the lower 2/3 of the country will be cooler than average. A combination of the incoming southerly wind and high pressure then having those winds disappear. So sort of a southerly and then it gets calm. So that's the setup at the moment. But as we take a look at the forecast, we're really going to be monitoring these rainmakers that are out at sea, because they are descending on New Zealand. And like I said the other day, the high pressure belt that's been consistently coming along south of Australia really is starting to break up now that we go into the second half of the month. The big powerful high that we're talking about directly south of New Zealand tomorrow, Thursday, that's where it's centered. But the next high is way out near Perth, and it's a very weak one, 1019. Average air pressure is 1013. So this is not very strong. What that means is all this sort of funny weather that's not really low or high pressure, it's right in the middle. This weather is going to dominate a lot more, and that encourages rainmakers, especially at this time of the year when sea surface temperatures are above normal. So the highs are definitely the reason why it's been so dry, and they've been so big and powerful. But they are breaking apart at the moment, and that means a bit of a change on the way. But for Thursday, the cooler southeasterly winds continue up around Hawke's Bay. There is the storm that we were talking about a week ago, almost exactly doing what it was supposed to do, except it's just a little bit further off the coastline there, rather than it being just a little bit closer to drive in that rain. So you've really only got showers or patchy light stuff as you go through your Thursday. By the time we get to Friday, that low is actually now moving away, deepening but moving away. The big high also weakening, down from 1040 hectopascals to 1020 in just a few days, while on the other side, that high actually growing, getting a little bit stronger. But the highs are not connected together anymore. There's a gap between them here that is noticeable, and that is going to play a role in our weather as we go on towards the weekend. So we've got rain on the way this weekend. This is the 3-day rainfall from 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, going through to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday morning. That shows that big low in the Tasman driving in this heavy rain, where there could be over 150 millimetres further to the south and 100 to 120 millimetres up here around the Nelson Ranges. And around the Nelson Ranges and Takaka doesn't take much to cause some slips or road closures. So that's definitely, if this remains accurate, that is, this definitely remains an area to watch. And I say if it remains accurate because it's a very big low and we've still got a few more days to go. So that heavy rain is now currently focused in that area. It might shift around a little bit in the days ahead. So if rain matters to you, go to ruralweather.co.nz, ruralweather.co.nz. Got the most rain data in the world for your part of New Zealand, so please do check it out. In the North Island, the rainfall totals aren't so great. There will be isolated downpours from this patchy weather coming through at the weekend. So a few downpours, otherwise drizzly, showery, nothing too major, not just yet. It should change, we hope, next week. This is lunchtime Saturday. You can see that drizzly stuff and maybe the odd heavier shower. Heaviest rain though offshore and down here around the west coast. As we move through, let's take a look at this map here. This sort of sums up where we're going on Sunday. There is the big low, fills the Tasman up. This has been pretty much a high pressure zone for the last few weeks, other than that storm from Sydney that very quickly passed through a week ago. But generally speaking, it's been a lot of high pressure. The highs now, that's pretty weak, and that's about moderate. And that's moving away from us. So we're in a vulnerable area here where low pressure up around Tonga is joining up with low pressure in the Tasman. There's that heavy rain on Sunday and a big mild northerly flow across the country. So next week, well, just before we go into next week, this is midnight Saturday, showing that blustery weather. There's a line of gale force winds, mostly out at sea, but it is brushing New Zealand because of that low that's just offshore. But next week looks like this. There is the low, deepening a little bit. Here's the big high out near the Chathams, still fairly strong. It's gained a bit of power, pushing back, and that will encourage those winds to be a little more blustery. But the rain is heavy on the west coast there. That is an area to keep a close eye on. And then you see that rain here in the north finally starting to line up. This is just drizzly showers, bottom end of the scale. But our final map here shows a bit of a change. That is that humid subtropical rainmaker coming down across the North Island in a better place this next low than the current low that's off our east coast. This is a much better place because our weather usually moves from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, west to east. So rain out on the Tasman, better chance of it crossing New Zealand. The totals here, anywhere between just 30 millimetres and up to 80 millimetres in a 24-hour period next week, around about next Tuesday. So well worth keeping an eye on, that's for sure. That is all from me for today. We'll be back again tomorrow with our next update.